I don't know what he said, but I heard fantastisch. So we'll go with that. It is such a pleasure to be back here. I think he explained that it's my third time back. This place amazes me. The fine attention to detail for the sound and the lights and the atmosphere, the fact that it's a multicultural venue warms my heart, and did back then too. So, welcome. And normally I do quite a bit of talking in my shows and storytelling, but tonight I have, as you can see, I'm not alone. There will be human beings also to go with these instruments shortly. Can you imagine if I toured just with like a band of instruments but no players, just to look more grandiose? But I will tell one quick story, which is most of you here I've met before. And you know that I was a wandering troubadour musician for 11 years, living out of my not so little suitcase and my broken guitar. This is a new one. And it was a challenging way to live, but I was quite happy with it, in a way. It made sense to me. 11 years, nomadic. Where's your home? Nowhere, everywhere. And then I got to a city. Yeah, you know, in Canada, I was doing this train performance. I would get on the train in Toronto and play my way to Vancouver, 5 days on the train. And people always ask me, oh, do you play a lot of train songs? And I said, no, not really. Yeah, some. Other people's. I don't really have so many. And you could stop in 2 cities to be part of this program. And I always had a concert in Edmonton, Alberta, and in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And those were the 2 places I always stopped. And I did this 50 times, all the way across Canada. And at the Winnipeg station, there was always a pause for 1 to 4 hours. And I would always go outside and have a cigarette at the Winnipeg station. But I never got into the city. I only ever had a cigarette in Winnipeg, 50 times. And then some woman from Winnipeg found me on the internet, and she said, I really like your music. I'd love to bring you here to Winnipeg. I'll find you 2 or 3 concerts. And I said, great. Then the next time I do the train, I'll stop in Winnipeg instead of Saskatoon. And that was the plan. And I got on the train in Vancouver, and I got to Winnipeg, and I was finally going to play and not just smoke in the station. But 2 days before the concert, the whole world stopped. And I got a text from the train company. All of the trains have been cancelled. And we already knew there was a virus going around and that everything was getting cancelled. And I was in a city, one city after 11 years of traveling, one city where I didn't know anybody. And I thought, if I can think really quickly, maybe I can get on a plane before the cases go up and I can just go somewhere where I have more friends. And I froze. I just didn't know where to go. And I thought, well, what if I stay in the one place I don't know anybody? At least I don't have any ex-boyfriends here. Let's see what happens. Maybe it makes a better story. Maybe I can convince my brain that this is still being on the road. And so I stayed in Winnipeg. And one night, I was very upset, by the way. My whole life disappeared overnight, and I was quite shaken, traumatized, really. And then one night, I went upstairs from the basement where I was sleeping. These friends, not friends, strangers, let me live in their house until we figure out what to do. I stayed there for 2 whole months, crying a lot. Not in front of them. I would cry in the basement, and I would come upstairs for tea and pretend to be okay, and then I would go back downstairs. And in the middle of the night, I would go outside and smoke cigarettes. And then I heard the train one night. I heard the train whistle blowing, and I burst into tears. because I wanted to be on that train. And then I realized, wait a minute, you don't write train songs when you're riding the train. You write train songs when you cannot get on the train. That's the secret. That's how you write a train song. So that night, I went back to the basement and I wrote a train song. And I have the great honor and fortune of having Linda here to help me portray it to you. So come on up. If you have harmonica and violin, then you really sound like you're in prison together. It's great. Well, the sound at the station said Winnipeg when I got off that weary train, and the woman who came to greet me was friendly, but you were buzzing round in my brain. She showed me the room I could sleep in. I put down my suitcase and sighed. The room was alright, but I knew that I could not fall asleep if I tried. Well, I was down on my knees, I'll admit it. I was willing to moan and beg, but no matter how I look at it, I'm stuck in Winnipeg. And who knows how long I'll be here, and if they open up the track, and when they do, which way I'll ride, and which way is forward or back. And I'm not sure if it's fate or a ticket that wound me up in this town. I've been scratching my head trying to figure it out as the whole world turns upside down. I'm stuck in Manitoba, but I'm dreaming of that train, and of the day I'm gonna pack my bags and see my baby again. Well, I don't know how much longer, don't know how long it's been. I wake and eat and sleep and breathe, and the world still seems to spin. But one thing is for certain, you still buzz round in my brain. And Lord have mercy, I do pray you ain't buzzing round there in vain. I'm not sure if it's fate or a ticket that wound me up in this town. I've been scratching my head trying to figure it out as the whole world turns upside down. I'm stuck in Manitoba, but I'm dreaming of that train, and of the day I'm gonna pack my bags and see my baby again. Oh, of the day I'm gonna pack my bags and see my baby again. They'll be back. Thank you, that was extraordinary. All right, boys, get on up here. Ooh-wee. It is such a treat. One of the beautiful things about being a solo performer is that you can have lots of friends in different cities that join you for shows. And I feel like I have the best ones in each town. And there's not a lot of people I know that play. Yeah, I know some piano players, but this is like, look at this setup. Oh, we just met this afternoon. Really? I shouldn't have told you that. It's magic every time, though. I feel so lucky. So I sang a song called Winnipeg, and there's a whole album now called Winnipeg of all the songs I wrote in that basement. And this is one of them, but it's nice because it's called New York. I wrote it in the basement in Winnipeg, and it's nice to sing a song from Winnipeg in Rotterdam called New York. Did you, when you were growing up, maybe it was the 80s, I don't know, I had this fantasy when I was younger, still living at home, that I would one day be cool enough to go to New York. And I didn't quite believe that I was cool enough to do it, to go be an artist in New York. Thank God I didn't do it. It costs way too much money to. But I never lost my love, my fantasy. New York, you were in TV shows, you compelled me. I wanted to be the type to be cool enough to pack up her bags and rent some quirky apartment, to fill up with plants and with lovers and make art and stuff. I took the Greyhound once from Montreal. Kathy, I said, was on my mind the whole way. And the closer we came to that New Jersey turnpike, the more songs about you began to inwardly play. You seem like a movie set of yourself when I came at the station. Yellow cabs, outfits, and buildings I'd seen all before. Everyone I encountered was peaceful and friendly. The glory of you had me floored. Dream in a shadow. I was the only living boy in some of the town. But if those streets of yours are truly habit forming, if I came to them truly, I'd soon find myself falling down. Oh, look at you. What have you been going through? They're closing up the gates and the curtains coming too. We thought we might have lost you when the towers came down, but the city, that means everything, can keep on falling down. But you rise up, rise up, rise up. Oh, let this be a New York fairy tale where things turn out fine. Maybe it's us crusty, pesky neighbors who'll bring ourselves to turn those things on a dime. Oh, making it with beauty, oh, I pray it does. Tell us of your heroes, I'll be watching always was. Oh, harbor and salvation, where grit gets along with grind. You're the heartbeat of every city, and I feel you all the time. When you rise up from the ashes, wipe your faces, stand up tall. I'll come and visit you, climb on each and every wall. You're the city of survivors, and I wanna be one too. Oh, New York, I love you. Hope we both make it through. Oh, New York, I love you. Hope we both make it through. Thank you. Okay, it's getting warm in here. It's the burlesque part of the show. I might get cold again, so we leave it close. One thing that in a way was nice and in a way really bothered me. When the pandemic started, I don't know what you had here in Rotterdam, in Europe in general, but in North America there was like a slogan. It almost felt like a commercial for the pandemic. It said, "We're all in this together." And everywhere you looked, on the shop windows, "We're all in this together." Even people had it in chalk on the sidewalk. "We're all in this together." And I thought, yeah, that's really nice, but bullshit. I was so angry actually when I saw it, because the people who were letting me live in their house, they were fine. They were retired. They had lots of money, they were together. The only thing they complained about is that they don't get to go to restaurants. Okay. But I was crying in the basement because my whole life was over. Every single thing I worked for was gone. And I didn't have anything else except for what was gone. And so when I saw "we're all in this together," I thought, no, it's not the same. Yeah, well, my friend is a musician too. He also can't play shows. Yeah, but he has a wife and children and a dog. It's not exactly the same. So I was really, we're all in this together. And then I thought, yeah, Orit, you can feel very sorry for yourself if you want to. But you're not a frontline worker. You're not a nurse. You don't have 4 children to worry about. You're also actually on the lucky level, as unlucky as you are. So maybe the nurses think, fuck you, Orit, we're not all in this together. And still everywhere I saw it was saying, we're all in this together, we're all in this together. And I thought, well, the anti-maskers and the pro-maskers, they're not in it together. They're fighting like crazy. They're saying horrible things about each other. And then the vaccine talk, oh my God. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. But the complete opposite is what I was seeing. And then you had Black Lives Matters. And then you had pro-Trump. And then you had, it just kept getting more and more polarized. And every time I saw we're all in this together, I went, no, it's not true. If only we could actually hear each other when we were talking. If only really we had a true witness to what we were going through, maybe it would be better. This song is called Witness, and it came from thinking about all of that. Did I tell you G or A flat? Okay. Good thing I checked. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. When I first heard it, I was young. But I really felt going up and down that same old street. Maybe you've walked it too. And all of the windows and faces and signs, they mean different things to you. We might use the same sounds and words, wear the same brand of shoes. Still, no matter how hard I try, I'll never know your blues. You just want a witness to testify your story. The damage that's been done, and all the guts and glory. You just want a hand to lead me where you're supposed to go. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Thank you. Man, I didn't know how much the song wanted an organ and drums on it before. Sounds so good. Thank you, guys. All right. You know The Little Prince? You know that book, The Little Prince? Everybody knows it in the Western world anyway. And I don't remember how old I was when I read it, but I was already not a child. And there's a little part in it that I remember forever. The little prince is complaining about the kinds of questions adults ask, the grown-ups are always asking. And he says, why do they always ask things like, what do you do for a living? How much money do you earn? How much is your house worth? They always want to know these things. And he says something like, why don't they ask, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? That's so much more interesting. And I think I really feel this way. And I remember thinking about it a lot when I first started going out performing. And I would come home and they would, instead of saying, how did you feel at your show? They would say, how many people came? How many CDs did you sell? And I hated these questions. Some nights I could say lots of people, lots of CDs, but on nights where it was less people and less CDs, maybe I still had a wonderful time. Maybe some really important conversation happened that carried me for the next year. Maybe I met someone who hired me for 5 more gigs later. It was never a waste of time. And so I have this like relationship with numbers where I think I don't like them. And numbers was a big theme also in this basement time in the pandemic, because every single day I would go upstairs and the man of the house would have the news on, and they would only be reporting numbers. Number of cases, number of cases, number of cases. Number of hospitalizations, number of deaths, numbers, 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 and everyone would compare, oh, it's worse in America, it's better in Canada. And it's like, man, it's not, this is a bad competition. But anyway, this song is called Numbers. If you hate something, you should always write a song about it.
Takes on the news, number of messages, comments and hearts, number of missing puzzle parts. Pick a number 1 to 10, hold it in your mind and then say it out loud and say it true. Did I pick the same number as you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. This part's a sing-along if you want to try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. The number of days, number of nights, number of worries, number of frights, number of reasons, number of rhymes, number of pennies, nickels and dimes. Pick a number, wait your turn. Stand in line while your soul burns. Can I have your number, please? You might cure my one disease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Well, I had one hope and I'm of two minds. 100 mistakes of 2 or 3 kinds. Number of times I've had to say I'll be alright, I'll find my way. Everyone's an expert on those stats, wearing self-appointed expert hats. So it's all here in the numbers. What are you arguing for? Always one more. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 1, 1.
Thank you. I usually can hear if people are singing, but I don't usually have an organ in my ear. Were you singing a little bit? Nodding a tiny, tiny bit? All right, well, there's another opportunity later. Let me have a sip of water. You may have a sip as well. I'd like to do a song alone, but they're going to stay on stage and be very still. It's a test of their commitment to being supports. You know, it really just felt like the world might be ending. It still sometimes feels that way. If I only look at the news, it just feels like it's over. And this next song sounds like a really sad song because it's slow and soft and sad sounding. But it's more actually like a request, or even a prayer if you want to look at it that way. Because the way I felt when I was getting more and more desperate, oh my God, everything is ending, it's over, it's over, it's over. The hardest thing for me in the pandemic, the lockdowns, was that I didn't know if it was over. Am I ever going to get back out there and sing for people again or not? Because if I am, then let's get going. And if I'm not, then I need to grieve and start something new. But this not knowing was really psychological torture for me. Am I coming or am I going? And so there was this feeling like, you know, if it's going the wrong way in all these ways, politically, everything's going down, then let it happen already. Let it just happen already. And then we can start something better. And that's what brought this song.
Everyone's behavior now. That seems really high right now. I'm going to change it.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make hard decisions on stage. And when you don't play with a band, you can change the key whenever you want.
Everyone's behavior now is just what we've inherited from our parents and our cultures and our histories and peers. Everyone's behavior now is all a culmination of partial twisted visions and of memories and fears. And the good and the bad and the ugly and the very beautiful will rise and cry, dance and die, half empty and half full, over and over. But is it over now? Or do we watch the same damn circles? Do we watch the same damn circles spin some more? Is there even any reason for us to still be watching? For us to still be watching and keeping score? 'Cause the good and the bad and the ugly and the very beautiful will rise and cry, dance and die, half empty and half full, over and over. Envision some fine future and the path to get you there. Are you brave enough to forge your way? Brave enough to care while you jump over hurdles, while you prepare to fend off harm? Will you ever plainly say it? Will you reach out with your arms and find mine reaching? 'Cause I've had some ideas, you know the kind, where everybody gets along and no one seems to mind. So if it's really over, let it be over soon. And if it isn't, come on then, now let's just change the tune over and over. 'Cause the good and the bad and the ugly and the very beautiful will rise and cry, dance and die, half empty and half full, over and over. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know. I have no idea what key I told you to do Survivors in, but we're going to do it in C minor. Must be minor. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do a song. We're going to do a song. It's nice to say we on stage. We're going to do a song. This is from a long time ago when I first moved to be a full-time musician. I went to Berlin. It seemed like, I was invited by friends who were playing music there, and they said, you should come. It's the best place. And in a way it was. But it was also a really scary place for me to go because I had never been to Germany before. And I was not even prepared to tell my parents about it either, because my grandparents escaped from Germany in the nick of time. And I never in a million years thought I would ever go there to do anything, let alone play music. And so when I was invited, I thought, yeah, I want to go play music with people that I like, but it's Germany. And I thought about it a lot. And I came to the conclusion that my generation should go and make it good again, because it's the only way to make the world better is to move forward. And so I did. I went to Berlin, and it was like my vision got split into two different sites. Everyone I met was wonderful. I loved Berlin. I still love Berlin. I go back as much as I can. I made amazing friends. I got to play lots more music than ever before. But on the other vision was the ghosts, the little plaques in the street, which I noticed you have a few in Rotterdam also. And like flashbacks of memories I never directly had, but saw and heard about so many times that it was really like walking two sides of reality. And it was very hard to be there, and really beautiful and inspiring too. And so I did the only thing I know how to do. I wrote songs. And I thought, I'm going to write 10 songs before I leave Berlin, and then I'll have my Berlin album, and even if I have a terrible time, at least I'll have an album. And this is one of the songs from it. It's called Survivors. And, you know, when you say the word survivors to someone of my heritage, it only means one thing. Now it means many things, and I realize the older I get that it means things to lots of people from lots of places. And the most striking thing about being in Germany was meeting my generation and realize they also survived something. And that's hard to carry too. So getting to be a songwriter in the world and traveling and meeting people is so much better than sitting at home alone and watching the news, because you get to talk to people and you learn a lot. Tommy's been doing better, feet on the floor. He looks like shit, but he was way worse off before. This emptiness don't feel so good, but it's the way it is. In this neighborhood, we walk around like some kind of survivor. Legs that bow and ribs are always showing. Eyes that long ago stopped all their glowing. And fists that never do no good except to make you feel you could. We walk around like some kind of survivor. Tommy's been doing better, feet on the floor. We're both so down, we just sit on the cracked floor. The emptiness don't feel so good, but it's the way it is. In this neighborhood, we walk around like some kind of survivor. I can do so much more up here when they're up here too. It's so great. Linda, come on up. I'll skip just because for now. Yeah. We will come back to it. Hmm?
What did you write it down?
I did on mine. What?
You have a good memory, or did you write
No,
it
I wrote it down. I used to have a good memory. It's gone. One of the reasons I find, well, there's a lot of reasons, and I cannot tell you all of them in one night. Why I love songwriting. Certainly why I love getting together with musicians, why I love sharing songs with in public places. But for me, one of the essential magical things is that a song I can write 20 years before, and the meaning it doesn't ever get smaller. The meaning only grows if it's not a shitty song. Because there's always space in songwriting language to add more meaning. If I write you a letter, it's just a letter. But if I write you a song, more and more meaning can come to it as the years come. And that, I mean, if you're a Leonard Cohen fan, I listened to Leonard Cohen songs. I liked them when I was 18. I didn't understand them. Every 5 years I go back and go, oh, that's what he was talking about. Oh, okay. And I like that about this song. This song, I played it. It was on my second album, and I loved to play it in Berlin. They really liked it in this one bar, and they had, you could still smoke in the bars, and they would have their lighters out. And I was like, I felt like such a rock star. And then I got tired of playing it, so I stopped. And when I brought it back, I thought, man, these words, they feel different in my body than they used to. And they're still true.
Father, I don't want to come home. I want to walk the guilt right off of these bones. Mother, can't you see? There's a dark cloud hanging over me. I left the city burning, and you calling my name. Oh, I left the city burning, didn't turn back to look at the flame. Baby, you were always too kind, trying to soothe me when I thought I'd lose my mind. Did you know that I had to go? There are things about myself that I still don't know. I left the city burning, and you calling my name. Oh, I left the city burning, didn't turn back to look at the flame. And all the facts and all the figures, all the latest trends, all those pretty people who swore they were my friends. Nothing left for me. I know it's fine for some, but time is ticking, soul is kicking. The only way to move is forward. 3, 4. Between you and me, I only ever wanted to be free. And every turning grayer day by day, well, hell, I'd rather do it in some other way. I left the city burning, and you calling my name. Oh, didn't turn back to look at the flame. I left the city burning, and you calling my name. Oh, I left the city burning, and didn't turn back to look at the flame.
Yeah, Linda! We've had some nice conversations in the last few days. It's really amazing. This, I really didn't think I would ever get to leave Winnipeg. I really thought this was over. And I cannot even tell you, I cannot put it into words yet. I keep trying and I know it's not enough. How incredible it is to see friends that you thought you would never see again. It's been so emotional. It's been so incredible. How amazing it is to stand on stage in a venue that you thought you'd never get to play again. Where are you, Yasar? Thank you, my friend. Thank you, this place. You should give this place some applause. Thank you, my friend. We're not done. We're not done. I'm just giving a gratitude speech in the middle. But really, and to have you here and to see people that I thought, I used to love this so much. And I would tell, all the people in Winnipeg, they only ever met Pandemic Orit. They didn't know me before. And I would tell them about this amazing life I used to have. And they'd go, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Too bad you lost it. And now some of them have become Facebook friends, and they're seeing me now being so happy that I'm with my friends again, and it's incredible. And I met Linda before, and we even had a little jam in the living room at some point, right? And it's like, yeah, we've been through a lot in the last few years, trying to catch up. How have you been? And you say, You'd be lying if you said I'm doing great. Nobody's doing great with everything that's happening, but we're all here. We're all here together, and it's incredible. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here also. It's incredible. This song is about that, and I really actually need your very specific help with this one. Because when you sing the chorus with me, it transforms the whole meaning of the song into something quite magical. And so if I tell you this and then you don't sing with me, then you're not nice. Let's try. I wrote this song about human disconnection because I felt like it's getting harder to feel authentic. Everybody has a filter. Everybody's got literally and figuratively, a filter in our presentation of each other, ourselves on social media, in the text messages, in the emojis. It's great, it's convenient, but I feel like we're losing something really vital about how we connect. And so I wrote the song about it, and it's called It's Lonely. It's lonely, and my mother heard me sing It's Lonely, and she called me and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah. I'm okay. It's not so personal. It's more a societal loneliness." But this magical thing happened when I performed it for the first time, because the chorus of the song sings, it's lonely, between you and me, it's lonely. And it comes a few times, and I was singing it, and someone in the audience started to sing along. And then someone else heard them do it, and they joined in. And then another, and another, and another. And suddenly, there was a room full of people singing It's Lonely together. And think of the switch there. It's impossible for it to be lonely if everybody is singing It's Lonely together. I thought it was I was crying when it happened the first time, because it was so beautiful to me that if everybody everyone admits it's sad, it's scary, it's hard, but we do it together, it does actually make it a lot better. So, now that I've told you all of this, when I sing It's Lonely, please, for the love of God, sing along with me.
The world is shit. How are you tonight? Are you sitting all cozy? Or are you having a fight? Is it with someone else? Or with your own soul? I've been looking for reasons not to fear growing old. Would you let me inside? You hold me in close and turn on the light, 'cause it's lonely between you and me. It's lonely between you and me. Slowly, I can make it through. At least I think I can. I get by for a while. I'm my own best man, and I've seen pretty pictures, pretty points of view. Though they're clearly outnumbered, they are golden, those few. Are we likely to smile when I look out at you? Will the tension surrender? Will we know what to do? 'Cause it's lonely between you and me. It's lonely between you and me. It's lonely. I want to hear if you're singing. If you listen close, I can see you through. I seem to bring out what you most love in you, and you can have your peace. I'm easy that way. I can promise to love you whether you go or stay. 'Cause it's lonely between you and me. It's lonely between you and me. It's lonely. Keep going. It's lonely. slowly.
You did good. You did real good on that. I felt it. I felt it. How are you guys doing? Yeah? No answer. Not lonely anymore. Oh, good. Oh, good, good, good. Someone always cries at one of my shows, and I like it. I always go up to them at the end and say, I'm really sorry, and you're welcome. Because it's good to cry. It's good to cry. It means you were holding something that you needed to, right? We live in this, like, such a tense society that tells us we have to be happy all the time, and it's such bullshit. It's not healthy to be happy all the time. It's also not healthy to be sad all the time, but, you know, like a little balance is good. Well, I have a good song about the balance, but then I feel like I'm cutting songs out. How are, like, there's lots of songs, you know, but yeah, that was like the perfect segue into the song that was gonna be maybe the last song, but now it probably won't be. Is that okay? You don't care, do you? You're like at my mercy completely. So are you, by the way. You're doing all right up there? Do you need anything? They sound great, don't they? Yeah. All right, well, let's go with the flow. You need a beer? He needs a beer. A cold one, he says, because he's very choosy, this one. Not just any beer, a cold one. Oh, and if he needs I see how it works. Anyone else out there? Do you need a beer? I'm not buying, but, you know, maybe you can get one too. Should we get a 2-minute beer break then? Yeah. Well, like a 1.5-minute beer break. Maybe you can just go get them yourself here. I don't know how it works. Yeah, this is like, no, the only song I have about drinking is a tragic song about how you should stop drinking, so I won't do that one. Hello, we're looking for beers. Not for me, I'm so much a nicer customer. A beer break, a short beer break, yeah. Yeah, but you can't leave. This isn't an opportunity to sneak away, because we got a few more really good ones for you. All right. Beer break, probably also smoke break then, and a pee break, and, you know, call your mother-in-law or something. I don't know. Okay, you're wonderful. Yeah, thank you. Take 5. Take 5. After the Whiskey sounds like a really good title for a song or a memoir. Well, it was in this country that I wrote this song, in a town called Eindhoven. You know if you've heard of it, I'm sure. Of course. In Eindhoven, there. What's the beginning of the story? That's the question. I've told the story before, so I always think maybe I don't need to tell it anymore, but it's a new audience, so you do. Because it's an intense story, and it's also one of those songs that changes the meaning for me, like what's going on in my life that this song means now. There was an American songwriter named Townes Van Zandt. You can imagine with this name he had Dutch origins somewhere in his past. And a few of my friends were singing a lot of his songs, and that's how I got to know his music, and I quite liked it. Very sad, good folky blues, you know, gritty singer-songwriter. He was from Texas. And there was a documentary about him, and I watched it in the time before I was living on the road. I was sitting in Montreal. I was already a songwriter, I was already a performer, but I didn't imagine yet my life on the road. And I watched this documentary, and it was about him, but it was also about how troubled he was and how much of a drug addiction problem he had. And the movie started with this. he was already dead, I think, by the time the movie came out, but it starts with a little clip of an interview with him, and he's telling a story where he was sniffing glue as a young man because he really liked getting high, and he liked it so much that he didn't want to stop even at night. And so he went to sleep with it between his teeth so that he could keep inhaling the glue at night in his sleep. Lovely. And when he woke up, the glue had glued his teeth stuck, and he could only get the thing out of his mouth by using a hammer. And that's how a whole movie starts about this man. And so you think it's not going to be a good story, is it? And it continues, it continues, it continues. And along the movie is this beautiful, beautiful music. All of these songs he wrote. But in so many of the songs you can hear that he's talking about death, and he's talking about codeine, and he's talking about morphine, and he's talking about... And by the end of the movie, I was completely crying, more than usual. And my friend said, "Jesus, Orit, why are you crying so hard?" And I said, "Because I'm not sure if I'm going to end up falling in love with a man like this, or if I'm going to end up being a man like this." And I chose B over A, but with less drugs. Thankfully. But, you know, living on the road and being addicted to the road is not exactly good for your body, and it wasn't that I was vice-free, especially in the early years, you know. You get paid with drinks, and it's really encouraged. The more fucked up you are, the more you think people will like you. It's really a toxic world in many ways, and it kills a lot of very talented people. And so when I arrived in Eindhoven and they said, "You know, Townes Van Zandt used to come here a lot, and he has very close friends that used to host him, and now they've changed his room into a guest house for touring musicians. And for 20 euros, you can stay for the night in Townes Van Zandt's room." And I said, "Okay." On one deal with myself. If you go there for the night, you have to write a song in that room. This is the song.
Demise of ourselves as rebellion. If the calling is God, I say the muse is the devil. Something's wrong with this path. Something's not on the level. It'll nip at your heels and then give without warning. Close your eyes and pray. You'll be here in the morning. Well, it's a sordid affair, hardly right, hardly fair when it gets you. But the sounds just come out, and it's too late for doubt. You just go. If the calling is God, I say the muse is the devil. Something's wrong with this path. Something's not on the level. If you rise to the sky, your wings will melt without warning. Close your eyes and pray. They'll be here in the morning. Well, there's salvation in bits, in the kindness of strangers and friends. And if you just push on through, there'll be more when you get round the bend. If the calling is God, I say the muse is the devil. Something's wrong with his path, something's not on the level. Hearts can twist from their core and turn without warning. Close your eyes and pray, there'll be love in the morning. If it makes you feel free, how can you disagree with the theory that to live is to fly? You just can't deny that it's true. If the calling is God, I say the muse is the devil. Something's wrong with this path, something's not on the level. If you rise to the sky, your wings will melt without warning. Close your eyes and pray, you'll be here in the morning. And if it all goes wrong, and if I have no place to fall, at the end of the day, it's still you that I wish I could call. If the calling is God, I say the muse is the devil. Something's wrong with this path, and I can only just revel at the beauty I've seen and the songs for the showing that will be here when I'm not in the morning. I've never had this on stage with me in any other formation that I've played in. And I mean by this, that's not a nice way to call Bart. But oh God, I like it so much. He's really good, yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna continue along. I think I said sweet bye-bye next. Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. We're just making it up as we go. Right, sweet bye-bye. Yeah. You know, it's changed. Oh, I've been coming out, 5 years in the middle, but, you know, there's some differences between North America and Europe, and it's changed. I can tell it's changed because of the conversations I've been having, but and also on Facebook, where I spend a lot of time. And it's terrible to spend a lot of time there, but it saved my life during the pandemic because I wasn't around any human beings. People talk about mental health way more than they used to, and it's fabulous. It's so great, because everybody suffers, and it's really good when people admit it. And so,
when you talk about it, you realize, oh, other people have it too. Oh, okay. It's kind of like the lonely thing, you know. It's like less horrible when you realize other people struggle too. But I used to joke, you know, I don't know what they have here, but in the world of psychiatry, they have a book. They update it every few years, but they have a book called the DSM. Yeah? It's like the diagnosis for all psychiatric disorders. It's quite usually outdated, even the new editions. But what's great about it is that I used to laugh that if you took the same book and just changed the title, How to Be an Artist, all the things that are psychiatrically terrible to be a functional member of society, a lot of them are really good to be an artist. And and this next song is an example. Oh, I'm not the only one with a cough. You guys are super careful. I have candies in my purse. Somebody give him a candy. Or a whiskey. Or both. Yeah. I care about my audience. I have candies in my purse. You want one? Oh, okay. So, back to the story. I was having a panic attack one night. I was alone in a house in Calgary, and I was like, oh God, everything is really, really horrible. And I couldn't sleep. My heart was pounding. And I did what you should never do when you have a panic attack and you can't sleep. I took my laptop and I opened it. And I went on Facebook, and it made everything worse very, very quickly, because there was more bad news and more bad news and more bad news and more bad news. There was war, there was poverty, there was sickness. And on that night, lucky night, also 3 friends from totally different parts of the world all posted an article that said a meteor was going to smash into the planet that very night. Yeah, and I was like, normally I would dismiss it, but it was 3 different friends from 3 different places, and I went, oh shit, maybe this time it's true. Oh boy. And when you think the meteor is coming that very night, you kind of start to ask yourself, did I live the right life? And in that time, I wasn't sure at all. And so I had some even faster heartbeats. And suddenly, out of the blue, I remembered the phrase, the sweet by and by. If you listen to old American music, gospel, bluegrass, this phrase, the sweet by and by, it keeps coming up. There's so many songs with the sweet by and by, and it means the life after, or paradise. And I always thought, from a linguistic perspective, that's really interesting. Why should by and by mean heaven? But anyway, I was always fascinated with these gospel songs, but I felt like I can't really write a gospel song because I'm not from that culture. But that night, I was so sure the world was going to come exploding to an end that it just came to me. And I thought, no, I can write it about the sweet by and by, because that's where I want to be.
In the sweet by and by, this old heart won't be racing. There'll be sweet arms embracing, and the soul won't be cold, and that long stifled cry will be a sweet lullaby. There'll be no need to sigh in that sweet by and by. If the bullets push through us and the war cries are heard, the blood that seeps from us will render all absurd, and it won't mean a thing if you were pauper or king. When the end comes to take us, eagles, we all get the same wings. I've always loved that old gospel somehow. Never needed it much, like I'm needing it now. Sweet by and by, come and take me away, 'cause I'm all full of sorrow, and you're so far away. If that meteor hits and everything shatters, there will be such relief, 'cause nothing will have mattered, and the dust that we came from will be the dust we've become. And all of our anguish will be in pieces and crumbs. But don't be afraid, 'cause there ain't nothing we can do. There's enough love around us to carry us through. And whatever the shackles, whatever the yoke, when that sweet by and by comes, it'll all be a joke. I've always loved that old gospel somehow. Never needed it much, like I need in it now. Sweet by and by, come and take me away, 'cause I'm all full of sorrow, and you're so far away. I'm all full of sorrow, and you're so far away.
Thank you very much. Okay, here's the plan. I know when I'm sitting there, I want to know the plan. I hate sitting down and waiting. It's hard. You guys are doing the hardest job here tonight. I hope you're having a good time. All right. You don't have to have a good time. But I do need you for this song as well. And I'm going to tell you why, because you need you too on this song. You all right? Do you want a candy? Take a sip. Take a sip. It's sip break. Oh, yeah. Pure vodka in here. Here's the plan. We're going to do 2 songs together, and then I'm going to do 1 song alone. And then we're going to talk, and you're going to say, good show. And you're going to go over there, and you're going to buy everything that's on the table. Here's the thing, just about that for a moment. I know a lot of people go to the merchandise table, and they look, and they go, oh, nice, you have so many different CDs. And they go, oh, but I don't have a CD player anymore. Well, guess what? I've thought of that. And there's also these beautiful magnets for your fridge on sale, and it's a download. So you can buy a magnet for your fridge, and then you get a free download after that for any album of mine that you want. So if you don't have a CD player, it's no longer a viable excuse. And then I have people coming and saying, yeah, I would love to buy something, I really would, but I don't have any cash. No problem. We now have a fancy QR code. You can pay by credit card or PayPal. So you're out of excuses. I will say to this, of course you are here and that's plenty, and it's wonderful to have you here, and thank you. If you're listening to music on Spotify these days, just be aware that absolutely nothing comes to the artists from this. Only the CEO of Spotify is getting rich. And if you want to listen to music that way, that's fine. Just be aware of it, and maybe then, buy something or send or donate something to the artist that you like. We cannot keep making music. We cannot survive. I cannot arrive here. I cannot pay for a plane ticket if nobody buys the music ever. So keep it in mind. It's always really, really appreciated, but it's also more necessary than ever. Commercial over. Bandcamp is the absolute best platform. Absolutely the best. Good job, good job. You can follow, also, you know what, it sounds so stupid, but all the subscribe and like and all that, it does make a difference. If you like on Facebook and you subscribe to YouTube, when we apply for festivals or bigger concerts, they look at these numbers. It's for the first 10 years of being a performer, I never talked about it and I never asked for it. But it does become necessary at some point. So yeah, if you like this, the reason I'm here is because people tell other people, oh, is that the bell? It's over. Shut up, Orit, just sing a damn song. I know, but you have to talk about it because it's part of the reality of being an artist right now. And it's my full-time job. And it's hard to make it work. And it only works because people like you show up, they buy things, and they tell other people, hey, there's this artist you should also listen to. So it does. I appreciate it. It goes a long way. Okay. Whoever rang that bell can ring it again. I'm ready. All right. We're going to do a song called Strange and Beautiful Things. And it was the one I was going to do before because half of it is about how terrible everything is, and the other half is about how wonderful everything is, and the truth is both are true at the same time. Yeah? And it's really hard to carry both at the same time, but if we can, then we're doing okay. Before I sing it, I have to tell you about this experiment I heard about that completely blew my mind, and also, like all the other stories I tell you, made me cry. It was a science experiment about rhythm. And it was a science experiment with babies. And the scientist was trying to prove something about rhythm. And so he took two groups of toddlers, the babies that are just learning to walk. And the parents came also, one parent, and they put the baby in a snuggly, the little thing that you carry the baby around in, facing out. And one by one, they went into the room with the scientist. This is a true story. The parent with the baby and the scientist. And they turned on music and they bounced the music together. Very nice. That was group one. Group two, same thing, but when they turned the music on and the parent started to bounce with the baby, the scientist on purpose bounced in the wrong rhythm, not together with them. I've had boyfriends like this. It's terrible. You don't want this. Yeah? Group one together, group two not together. And then they took all the parents away. Just for a little bit. And they brought the babies one by one into a room with the scientist. And the scientist was holding a toy and was playing with it, and then dropped the toy to the floor and pretended to be upset that they lost the toy. Almost every single baby that was bouncing in rhythm with them, almost every single baby there, went to the toy, lifted it up to the scientist. And almost every baby that was in the second group that were not bouncing in rhythm, they didn't give a shit. They didn't they ignored it completely, or they went and started to play with the toy, but they had no concern whatsoever for the scientist. And the experiment was proving that just being in rhythm is making you more empathetic. Can you imagine? Just physically being in rhythm makes you more empathetic. And that's why I cried. Because I thought of all the bar gigs I played where nobody was listening to a word I was singing. But they were going like this while I was playing, which means they left nicer people after I played my gig, and I was still doing something good in the world, even if they weren't listening to the words. It made me feel so much better about being a musician. Now when I play it, if you don't move your body to the rhythm, we're all gonna know you're not a nice person at all. And you're not even trying to be a nicer person. But if you do, or if at any point tonight you went like this with your head or your feet, congratulations. You're gonna leave with more empathy, and good job. And you're really on top of it. So here we go. Please do join us rhythmically somehow for this one. It's called Strange and Beautiful Things. There may be a sing-along too. What are you laughing about? You guys are not moving at all, by the way. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go.
Look around, all you see are constellations, patterns of abuse and patterns of migration, following the stars, trying to hide their scars. It's either magic or it's not, don't matter. The miracle still shines in every splatter and in stroke of tragedy or joke. Strange and beautiful things have come over me. That's your part. Try it. Strange and beautiful things have come over me. Here we go, stops. It's not a blessing or a beating. It's not confessing or believing. It's a here I am and there it is. You want a solo? It's not a blessing or a beating. It's not confessing or believing. It's a here I am and there it is. Whoa, look around, all you see are inspiration, good people and good vibrations coming to your door. Well, who could ask for more? Every day's another combination of human being, butterfly, a molecule, a whole damn nation, whatever you can see. Strange and beautiful things have come over me. Let's hear ya. Strange and beautiful things have come over me. Super.
You did it. Good job, you guys. Good job. You're a nice audience. Did you know that? And now you know, if you didn't know before. You know, Bart was the one who organized this concert for me to be able to come and do this with you guys, so give him a huge round of applause. And when him and Yassar made the Facebook event, they called it Delicate Times. And that's a song that I played the first time that I was here. And I thought, oh my God, what a beautiful title for an event in these delicate times. It couldn't be more perfect, because these are really, really, really delicate times. They were before, and they're even more delicate now. And they're so delicate, I almost didn't come to Europe, yeah? Not just because of all the regular things, but all the new regular things. It's so incredibly delicate. So it means a lot to me after 5 years of COVID and fear to be here. It means extra because of everything that's happening in political situations around the world, to be here very comfortably with friends. I thank you for that. And it behooves us. That sounds like a Dutch word. It behooves us. It must come from Dutch. Behoven. Is that a real word? Oh, come on. I feel behoven. It's got to be a Dutch word. Anyway, I feel behoven to sing this for you. Listen, if a Canadian can't introduce a new Dutch word into the language, then the world is not a good place.
These are delicate times. They can see all our thoughts, and that's just what they're after, to snuff out the laughter. Well, isn't it good that it's out in the open, gaping and broken? These are dangerous days. The clock's ticking faster, and knowledge is burning too fast for learning. Well, isn't it good that we quicken the pace, keep up with the race to know we're alive? To sit around waiting or try participating. Well, isn't it good just to go with the flow, use what we know and hope for the best? as transient as memories and fleeting as dreams. Well, isn't it good that it's so hard to grasp when it's out of our grasp? That's when it's free.
Thank you so much. Give the warmest hand you've got to this incredible band. I feel so lucky that I got to play with you tonight. And now I'm going to throw you off the stage, unless there's one more I missed. Oh, yeah, there was one more. Sure. What was I thinking? Yeah, we can do No Finer Place. Oh, we got two more. You want two more with them? You have it in you? Okay. All right, then. Never mind, that wasn't at all the last song. Just pretend you said like, encore, encore, and this is our encore. No. Listen, you can leave, but it took 5 years for us to get together again, and so I'm not in a hurry to end this night. As long as you're okay, I'm okay, we're all okay. You're doing a good job there, thank you. Do you know what a privilege it is to have like cameramen on your gig? People pay good money for that usually. It's a huge helpful thing to have to show the world what you've done and what you can do when you want to play their town or festival. It's really like an extra gift that this place offers, and they do such a good job with it, so thank you. And while I'm just thanking people quickly, I just want to give a shout out to Helma, because she's been hosting me in her home with Bart, and she's been extra kind, so thank you. She's really sweet. You should also see her dance sometimes. She's an amazing dancer. Okay, do you want to do No Finer Place first, and then Just Because, or the other way around? Let's ask the audience, do you want like a ballad, a dramatic ballad, or like a jazzy? You're going to get both. It's just a question of the order. Jazzy first? And just because you think it's going to be a happy song, it's not. Like when people said in the beginning, like, you need to stop writing so many sad songs. And inside I went, fuck you. But outside I said, yeah, maybe. But I discovered in wrestling with this as a songwriter that you do not, if you want to stay away from sad songs, it doesn't mean you have to write happy ones. There's other things like anger, bitterness. There's lots of spaces to explore other than sadness. You don't have to go straight to happy. So this is a word, it's one of my favorite words. I don't know if you have it in Dutch, but since I'm inventing new language for you. In English, the word is sardonic. It's different than ironic. It's like dirtier. It's just such a great word. I don't even know how to describe it exactly. It's kind of a type of humor that's really dark and twisted, and it's cynical, and it's all the good things in one. And I wrote the song right when I moved to Berlin, and people asked me, how's it going? And I thought, this place is hell. But I'm going to sing about it like it's great. Because really, at the time, I thought, I don't have anywhere else that's better than this. And since then, so it's a song about Berlin, but since then, I've been to other cities, and I thought, yeah, it's true here, too. And now I just feel that way about the whole world. Yeah, this place is hell. There's so many things that are so twisted and messed up. But do you have a better option right now? Nope. This is called No Finer Place to Go. Churches, they all look the same. Don't trust shop windows, they always change. There are rivers and bridges
the junkies, they're not into love. There are always the ones who leave you alone. You can follow them home. Don't look too high, they'll always bring you down. Don't look too deep, keep your feet on the ground. Always know when it's time to go. But other than that, you can just take it slow. Don't worry, baby, you'll get it in time. Don't worry, mama, we're doing fine. It's swell to be living in hell when there's no finer place to go. Don't float too high, they'll only bring you down. Don't look too deep, keep your feet on the ground. Always know when it's time to go. But other than that, you can just take it slow. Don't worry, baby, you'll get it in time. Don't worry, mama, we're doing fine. It's swell to be living in hell when there's no finer place to go. No finer place to go. No finer place to go.
I kept them on their toes. Thank you. It's fun to be on your toes, isn't it, Bart? Yeah. We're very different, you know, like he's a very organized person. I am not. He sent me a list on Excel, I think it was. And I went, wow. I had my list on a napkin from a bar. And yet, we get along. And you I just met, but I really like you, so you're hired for future engagements. Aren't I lucky? Isn't it nice? Like, I mean, I'm a struggling artist, don't get me wrong, but it's really fun also. That's why I keep going. It's also why I leave many men behind. And that is my segue to the next song. Yeah, well, you know, when you're a songwriter in your bones, but a woman in your body, you realize at a certain age, and for me, I was about 18 when I realized it, damn, the songs I really love are almost all, at the time when I was 18, songs that were written by men about women. And I can't do the same thing as a songwriter. I'm stuck. It was before non-binary was part of the language. I mean, there was obviously non-binary people, but they weren't being talked about a lot, or they weren't voicing their own selves. And so I felt really trapped, like, shit, they do these things in these songs where they, for example, there's a Leonard Cohen song, and he says, "Your body, like a searchlight, my poverty revealed." And it sounded so sexy coming from him. Oh my God, he's talking to this obviously beautiful woman and how her body reveals his poverty. Can you imagine if a woman wrote that about a man? Not the same effect. Your body reveals my poverty. That's not sexy. And there were a million examples like this, and I really thought, shit, I was born in a way the wrong gender. And then all these rambling songs about being on the road and rambling, man. There's songs with the there's no rambling women's songs. I had to write them because I was the only rambling woman I ever met. The music world is heavy on the male perspective. And there was a song, when I was struggling with this, there was also a song on the radio at the time. It was a terrible, terrible pop song. And I don't remember the whole song, but in the chorus it went, da, 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 da. I'm cold and I am scared, lying naked on the floor. Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? Get up and put some clothes on then. Nobody's forcing you there. It was embarrassing to be a female. Get up! So I made a deal with myself at 18 years old that I'm never ever gonna write a song that says, I'm so sad he left me. So I wrote a song that I'm so sad I left him. Still sad, but I have the power. B flat for you then?
Yep.
Oh, look at this.
Just because I'm going my way, well, that doesn't mean that I don't doubt every step. Just because I said I'm passing through, it doesn't mean that I know what I do. Each night I stumble by. You don't know how much I wanna cry. You don't know what's been on my mind. Just because I wrote you a song, well, that doesn't mean that I can write you another. Just because this time you're wrong, it doesn't mean that I've got some better answer. Each night I stumble by. You don't know how much I wanna cry. You don't know what's been on my mind. Just because I wear no ring, it doesn't mean that this didn't mean a damn thing. Just because I seem so free, it doesn't mean it feels good and feels good to be me. Each night I stumble
All right. Now you gotta go. That was incredible. If you liked it, I hope you liked it, because we just started, I think. I feel like we just began something new here, this new band. And I would really like to come back and do this again with you. Thank you so much. Phenomenal. There's all these ways to measure success, you know, numbers. My biggest sense of success in doing this weird road life of mine is the quality of people I meet and the quality of people I've been sharing stages with lately has just, I feel like it's gone up and up and up and up. And I feel incredibly grateful and quite validated also that they want to play with me. But tonight was no exception. It was really like, what fine musicianship, both of you. Thank you, thank you. All right, my friends, one last song. For real this time. The song is called Haven't Got a Clue. It's the damn truth. Haven't got a clue. And I would say be very, very careful of the people who tell you otherwise. If they think they know something, they're probably wrong. The people who say, I don't know, they're the ones you can trust. I had a lovely time tonight. I hope you did too. My heart is spoken for, body is negotiable. My soul is not my own, my mind is mine but sociable. History does not repeat, it's never even stopped. We just keep picking up where someone else has dropped, and yet this is all we get, then what are we to do but treat each other kindly, though we haven't got a clue. I'm full of memories, they're spilling over the brim, and they make loss of time seem so awful grim. But here I am right now, making one anew. And it just so happens that I'm here right now with you. And thus, we must not fuss. 'Cause what are we to do but move each other gently, though we haven't got a clue. Answers are just questions that have chosen a direction. Gestures are just needs we have reached for with our golden gloves. It's not that I'm accusing you, 'cause clearly I am guilty too. But if we've got this chance, I'd rather go for romance. Words are spoken all the time, they're all we've really got. Though there are galaxies between what we said and what we thought, and though you say nice things to me. They're only borrowed lines from every other person and every other time. And so, if this is all we know, then what are we to do but speak with candid honesty, though we haven't got a clue. We haven't got a clue. Let's do this again sometime, shall we? Thank you very much.